Hi, we are Lucia and Amelia, and today we are going to talk about a book called Fry Bread, a Native American family story.
Fry Bread, a Native American family story.
Fry bread is food. Flavor, salt, water, cornmeal, baking powder, perhaps milk, maybe sugar, all mixed together in a big bowl. Fry bread is shape, hand-molded dough, flat like a pancake, round like a ball.
Fry bread is sound. The skillet clanks on the stove, the fire blazes from below. Drop the dough in the skillet, the bubbles sizzle and pop.
Fry bread is color, golden brown, tan, or yellow, deep like coffee, sienna, or earth. Light like snow and cream, warm like rays of sun.
Fry bread is flavor. See beans or soup, smell tacos, cheese, and vegetables. Delight in honey and jam. Rise to discover what brings us together.
Fry bread is time, on weekdays and holidays, supper or dinner, pause and festivals, moments together with family and friends.
Fry bread is art. Sculpture, landscape, portrait, our daily craft, shared from teacher to student, a cycle of heritage and fortune.
Fry bread is history. The long walk, the stolen land, strangers in our own world, with unknown food, we made new recipes from what we had.
Fry bread is place, Alaska, Kansas, all the way to Maine, down to Delaware, onto Georgia, over to Oklahoma, Colorado, and California. Cities and lands we call home.
Bread is nation. Abenaki, Apache, Arapaho, Ojibwe, Onondaga, Oglazooks, Narragansett, Navajo, Nipmuc, Seminole, Shoshone, Sagi folks, hundreds and hundreds of tribes.
Fry bread is everything. Round, flat, large, small. North, south, east, west. Brown, yellow, black, white. Familiar and foreign. Old and new. We come together.
Fry bread is us. We are still here, elder and young, friend and neighbor.
Fry bread is you.
Cross-culturalism is manifested in all the practice. Despite the differences among the tribes, they all share a connection to this culinary tradition. Moreover, the fact of sharing and enjoying fried bread can foster mutual understanding and respect among indigenous communities, as well as among members of other cultures. Celebrating cultural diversity through food can be a powerful means of promoting inclusion and unity in multicultural societies. So in this sense, fried bread becomes a tangible symbol of interculturality, highlighting the importance of recognizing, valuing, and also celebrating diverse cultural identities in an increasingly interconnected world. Now we are going to talk about the learning situation we have created, taking into account its characteristics. That means that it has been designed to be meaningful, relevant, and attractive for students, promoting the acquisition of knowledge, skills, and competencies in line with the established educational objectives.
The first session will have 3 pre-reading tasks, the main objective of which is to prepare the students for the specific book that we're going to read. Therefore, we will work previously the specific vocabulary that appears there, and also see what information they have about the topic, what prejudices they can have, and also what knowledge they have about it. So the first activity will be about the multiculturality in the class. First of all, the students will need to think the origin of their parents and grandparents. They will need to think about a city or the country that their family was born. And once they discuss it in their teams, one of the teammates will need to come up with a list of countries that the group has in their origin. And then the teacher, once everybody has finished the discussion in the groups, the teacher will ask each group to name the countries that some of the classmates are from, and write it down on the blackboard. Therefore, first of all, we will see the variety of origins that we have in one classroom, and afterwards it can be discussed what features the students know about this country, such as their place, their culture, their food, or any cultural differences that they can know about. The second activity will be vocabulary charades. So in order to improve the understanding of the book and to facilitate it for the students, we will work on some of the words that appear there and that can be a little bit more difficult for the students to know. So one by one, the students will act out the word given by the teacher, and the rest of the classmates will need to guess it. It can be acted out, or it can be explained without naming it. And the last activity will be is called "What Do I See?" And we will see what it is to activate the students' previous knowledge about the topic of the book. So we will show them the cover of the book, and each student will be given a blank paper where they will need to write down one word that they come up with about the cover of the book. And then they will pass this paper to their teammate, and one by one they will need to fill up the paper with a word that describes the picture, or that what it makes them feel. The only rule is that they cannot repeat it. Once each team is finished with their papers, they will exchange the papers with other teams. Therefore, every paper will have different words from each classmate, and they cannot be repeated. This way we can see how the students perceive the image and what previous knowledge they can have about it.
The second session will be also divided into 3 activities. The first one is a warm-up activity to review the part of the book that has already been read. So a student will have a sheet of paper with some fragments from the book, which will be incomplete because they will be missing words. So the objective of the activity is to do a quick reading and learn how to flip through a book to look for information. The second task is designed in order to check if the students are understanding the story. So they will have a sheet of paper with several images that appear in the book. So for this activity, students will be grouped in groups of 3 or 4, and they will have to identify the page on which each of the images appears and describe the main idea that the books want to convey on that page. So the objective of the activity is to check that the students understand what the book is about. And finally, we have the third task, that is a comprehension activity with a series of questions not only related with the book, but also with the topic that it deals with, which is interculturality. So a student should read the question carefully and say whether it is true or false. And moreover, they must justify their answers with their classmates, because the objective of this activity is to understand if the students are understanding the book correctly.
And the last session, which will be post-reading activities. The first one will be is called Fry Bread is Nation. So the students will discuss in the class how do they understand the meaning of food for a nation. A teacher can guide them with questions such as how do you understand the phrase "fry bread is nation"? What food do you think characterizes your nation? What else can unite people other than food? And once this question are raised at the class, we can pass to the second task, which is will be called class as a nation. So the students will be explained that their class is perceived as a nation. They are all as one, and they need to choose a meal that represents them. As in the story, fried bread is a representative food of Native Americans. In this case, the class will need to choose a meal that is representative for them. To do so, they will first need to think about it individually, then share it with their teammates and pick one meal for the team. And once every team has picked a meal, they will need to discuss it and choose one for entire classroom. Once that is done, they will need to design a poster about that meals, and each team of the class will do a separate task for the poster, such as designing the headline, or describing the chosen meal, naming the ingredients, or just characterizing it, drawing it, and so on.